Ltd CNC have travelled to Wye Cylinders in Hereford today to look at this fabulous automated solution. And I'm with Brian from Mazak. Now, Brian, thank you very much for joining me today to look at this solution. Wye presented you with a challenge, a big challenge. Tell us about the challenge and tell us how you overcome this challenge.
Well, the challenge initially was to replace an old problematic machine that was unreliable, it was expensive to run, it had issues getting parts through production, with something new, reliable, automated, that could get through 14 hours runtime unmanned, unattended.
And it's obviously on site, it's only recently been commissioned, it's been here for approximately 3 months,
yep.
I believe. Have you kind of achieved this challenge?
We've absolutely smashed it, Gio. I mean, we've worked very closely with the engineers here at Wye, along with our application engineers, and we've achieved 24/7 runtime.
Wow.
So the 14 hours is completely out of the window. We've brought parts in from other machines, put them onto this one, and it's just running really, really well.
So you've exceeded their expectations. You didn't just meet it, you've exceeded it.
We certainly have, yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the application, about the project, about the engineering?
Well, the application is to take a billet component, automated, using the robo job here, load it into the machine, use the multitasking machine to do everything in one hit. So we load into the first spindle, transfer across into the second spindle, and we're producing finished parts to go away to the next process.
And you know, we've already stated that they're achieving 24/7 unmanned running, which is extremely important. But how important is cycle time in a project such as this?
Well, cycle time is an interesting one actually, Gio, because when we first sat down and looked at this with our applications team and our partners from Hydrafeed, our cycle time was actually longer on the new machine than it was on what they were currently getting.
Why was this?
Why? Because we've introduced other factors, such as we've done on-machine measuring using the Renishaw probe. That was something completely new to Wye. They never used that, but it's integral because we need to make sure we're bringing off quality parts that are within specification. And then we've used a robot, which is, in some ways, it's a longer load and unload time from the gantry loader, but the big benefit here was it's a reduced floor footprint, really, because you can see here, there's not an abundance of floor space.
So there's a few big points here, floor space being one of them, and floor space is really a premium here at Wye. But the second is cycle time is not always the key factor. It's about the stable process.
Well, the cycle time, we've actually, working with their guys, we've brought it to within seconds of what they was originally doing. Their engineers here at Wye are very, very good, and they've worked with our application engineers, and we've really fine-tuned that. But you're right, it is about the stable process. So there's all the different elements that go into an automated solution. So when the customer comes to Mazak, we take ownership of supplying the whole solution here. So we've worked with, obviously, Renishaw with the on-machine measurement. You've got Cromar, swarf management system. You've got to think about how you're going to get rid of all the material that's in there. And of course, Hydrafeed to deal with the automation side of things.
So you're only as strong as your weakest link, Brian?
You absolutely are. So we've got to take that trust on that the customer's given to us to make sure we're providing solutions with our partners that are going to deliver on the expectation. Because that is the expectation, that the machine's just going to run.
Now, they're not just doing high volume work here, are they? It can be low volume, high mix, high volume. It's quite a versatile and modular solution.
It is, because originally we were looking at a family of parts that were all very similar, and now because of the increase in capacity and the machine utilisation on this is upwards of 90%, that's given more capacity to look at other work on other machines that are not as productive. So this is actually, it's been a bit of a vacuum to the shop floor and taken on work that it wasn't originally spec'd to do.
That's a great story. Now, let's focus on the machine, the Integrex i200S.
Yeah.
Now, I know, that Mazak have been heavily involved with automation over the years. How is it evolving at Mazak? The amount of time and efforts that you're putting into automation.
I think Mazak have recognised that automation is an integral part of our future to become more productive and really get the most out of the machines, to the point now where on the next generation of Integrex they've got a flat front of a design aesthetically, and that's to work better with automation, so you can position the robot wherever is most suitable.
So that there's lots of evolution going on behind the scenes at Mazak in regards to automation.
I think there absolutely is. I mean, if you look at our latest 5-axis machines, They've got a rotated Trunnion, so you can load and unload from the side of the machine, but still use it with an operator in the daytime, for instance.
And is the same ethos still, you know, with the Integrex done in one, that done in one ethos that you're so proud of? Is this the product for that?
Well, this proves the point. You know, we're taking parts there that are raw material and we're delivering finished parts there onto a separate pallet. So that is the whole ethos about an Integrex multitasking machine.
And when buying a multitasking machine like this, how important is it to fully utilise your investment? You know, to really get the most out of your investment and to run 24/7, because let's face it, they're not cheap. So why only run it 8 hours a day and not 24 hours a day?
Well, you're right, it is a big investment, and I think to help justify that payback, if you can couple automation onto that and get automation running through the evening or through the weekend, then that all adds to the payback on the machine investment.
And it's reducing cost per part to your clients as well.
Exactly, and you're more efficient. It's a win-win-win.
It's a great, you know, collaborative solution that I can see here, Brian. Can you tell me how important relationships with your client, but also with third parties such as Hydrafeed are to you?
Well, I think it's integral, isn't it? I think the customer trusts us with an opportunity, which we're very grateful for. We take that on and we try to ensure that we can deliver on what we're proposing. And I think relationships are a key part of it. We've got a good relationship with our suppliers. We've had excellent backup from Hydrafeed supporting RoboJob here in the UK. And it all just works well. As a synergy is a good way of putting it, because that's what we are. It's the whole solution supplied by Mazak.